Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. Here we are where we left off last time, next to these steaming multicoloured pools, as we took down a large drake to take a piece of the Godhammer. Yes, very interesting indeed. Now my initial plan was to venture forth to Defiance. However, I have decided against that, and today's session is going to be a bit of a mishmash of things, which I'll take you through in due course, because there's a few things that need to be cleared up before we get to the Defiance, so I just want to get those things out of the way first. But to start the session off, just a very quick overview of what's happened since the last session. I've levelled up the characters and also given someone some new equipment. So, Palagina, she levelled up, and we gave her a new ability of superior deflection. She is the kind of off-tanky character, so extra deflection to assist her in dodging the opponent's attacks was very useful. We also levelled up Sagani. We have given her Marksman to give her extra accuracy when firing from distance. And we have given Durance, during his level up, Gunner. He is using the arquebus, which is quite slow to reload, so any extra increase in reload speed would be most welcome. So that's the levels up for the characters. Moving quickly on then to the new equipment. In the last session we picked up this little number, Sun-Touched Mail of Hiron Wrath. We have enchanted it with extra dexterity to make up for the slightly slower recovery speed of this thing, and also for extra damage reduction, and we've given it to Karna. So this once belonged to the Paladin Hiron Wrath, who came across a countryside village beset by ghouls and made it his life's work to rid the world of the undead. He believed that their very existence was a blasphemy against the gods and a scourge on all kith. And having observed the creatures prowling by night and skulking in dark places, he fell prey to then common misconceptions about their nature. He had his order create armour that shone with the light of the sun, believing them vulnerable to daylight. Unfortunately, he tested his theory in the cleansing of a crowded vampire den, discovering too late that the light only alerted the creatures to his presence. Published research by animancers has since dispelled many of the dangerous myths surrounding the undead. So this grants Karna with an additional ability to cast Sunbeam, which is a burn damage AoE, which also blinds the opponent. So that would be quite handy. I mean, it's a Paladin mail, could have been good for old Pelagina here, but we've given it to Karna, because sometimes he does get involved in some hand-to-hand combat, and he's quite a hardy character, so he can pick up when the odd stray opponent ranges too close to our squishies. So that's the equipment, and that's the levels up. Right then, today's session, odds and ends that need sorting out. Now, we're in a new area, so I went to the extremities of the map to test if there were any neighbouring locations that may be of interest to us, and there was. Just to the west, there is something called the Pearlwood Bluff. Looks rather ominous, but looks rather sort of, nondescript, non-specific really. But then, if you remember, the quest for Sagani, where is it? No. I'll get there. The Long Hunt, there we go. We saw some cliffs in a vision when we touched the bear statuette. And, well, that looks like cliffs to me. So, we picked Sagani up here in the Woodend Plains, if I remember rightly. This is not too far from there, so this could be where we need to be for that quest, and therefore we're going to go there next. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Defiance Bay and hand in the old Godhammer piece to Fiaga, whatever she's called. I keep forgetting her name. Then we're going to go to Black Meadow to bury the found scrolls that we got in the last session for Whale. And then we're going to go to Cadnua, because we got a scepter to give Aloth, and we've also got a prisoner, if you remember. Aphra. She's in custody. So we're going to see if we can do anything with her. And then whilst we're there, we'll resolve this skeleton attack that is impending. And once we've done all of that, then we should be free to venture down to Deerford. So I'm aiming to do all of that in today's session, however long it takes. So I'm sat here ready for a long one, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it with me. So let's start to press on.
Hey.
Aha! It is the right area. So we need to keep our eyes out for signs of Persock here. So we're not going to rush. We're not going to rush at all. We're just going to take our time, just to make sure there's no other areas of the map that we need to be.
All right then.
And Sagani's interested here. She's asking for Doran if these look like the cliffs in his vision. I think we'll remain silent for now, not wanting to get her hopes up too high.
Hey.
Okay, so we have Zaurips here. Wherever there are Zaurips now, we fear there are dragons, or dragonlings. Oh, that's quite a big group. Holy flipping mackerel! Forest lurker as well. It's quite the gathering here, isn't it? Well, it will not faze us. Pallegina is now standing toe-to-toe with this thing. Encounter abilities. Right, Flames of Devotion. These things are weak to fire, so off we tootle with that. Somebody's been knocked over. Who's this? This is Adair. He's resting, apparently. He's resting on his laurels. Okay, do we need to do anything else here? I think we've got this under control. Don't really want to waste kind of counter ability, rest ability, sorry. I think we'll summon forth some skeletons to take care of these guys. Just to provide some distraction work. There we go, kind of send them forth here. Just tie them up. There we go. She's doing a damn good job here, taking care of this forest lurker. She's got it under control. Okay, right. Adair, I think, is back up on his feet. High Priest going down. Second Priest. There we go, going down. Now coming into the forest lurker. I think Adair will try and knock it down. Ease the pressure on Pallegina here. Success, very good. Now, don't we... One of us got... That's a Perest ability. Lesser Burst of Flame. I don't think anybody's got any Encounter Flame abilities. Sunbeam is a rest one. It's fine. These skeletons are doing a damn good job tying up these skirmishers, but now we're free to take them down. All right.
Hey. Oopsie daisy, we got more problems here. Another forest lurker.
shambling down the road here. Right. Right, get him flanked, get him knocked down, and Palagina, once again, use your flames of devotion.
Just say the word. Just giving them a fair shot.
Wow, that was pretty quick. Last time we came across these, they didn't fall as quickly as that. We are certainly progressing nicely.
Hey. Hey.
Okay, so we've reached a crossroads type affair here. What's this? What is this? Wait a second. Ooh, this looked pretty nasty. Wind blights. Yeah, we don't like the look of this. Right, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go again. Meanwhile, I think we could just do with a little bit of priestly healing. You guys on him, you're taking care of him. You help out Itumak. Okay, that's good. So, primal winds.
Hey.
Okay, we got some developments here. A lively breeze ruffles your clothes as you approach the edge of the bluff. A cave mouth yawns from the cliff face. It's only a dozen feet below your position, but the weathered rock is too smooth to scale. We could use our grappling hook and climb down, but we won't do that just for now, because we have more pressing concerns here. We feel a presence.
Yeah?
Durance stepping forward. As you reach the edge of the bluff, you recognize the exact location from your vision of Persok. He was here not long ago. Sagani stands alert, the Adra statuette in one hand while she scans the cliff. You close your eyes, feeling the ether for some trace of Persok's presence. The darkness behind your eyelids takes shape. You feel Persok running through the forest this time, hurtling and dashing around rocks and trees. The scenery whizzes by too fast. You can't make out the details between the blurred greenery. Something looms out of the trees ahead of you. Persok finally stops in front of an Adra arch. A natural arch made of Adra. Inspecting the arch, you remember hearing about this place. Supposedly, there's a row of Adra pillars nearby. Magran's Fork? They look like something out of Air Glanthath, says Adair. Across the water from Twin Elms.
Then I'll follow. In these visions, I don't suppose you're getting a sense for who Persok is now.
No, Fedoran commenting. It's all happening so fast, I'm just trying to locate him is hard enough.
At least we're getting closer. Seems like we've made more progress together than I've made in a year.
Well. So we can ask a little bit more information about Persok. Perhaps it will help us on our hunt. So asking what he was like.
That depends on who you ask. I talked to everyone in Masuk before I left. I heard he was a strong leader, a dependable builder, a caring grandfather, a wise elder, a generous neighbor, a cunning negotiator.
Might as well be one of those impossibly perfect heroes from the Idea epics. Yes, well, if he can change his shape, and he's probably all of those things at different times.
The odd thing is, many in Masuk weren't much older than me when Persak passed. And yet everyone wanted to make sure he heard about something in particular. Our trade with the Amawa, our successful hunts, peace with neighboring villages.
Yes, well, it was obvious that he's an important person to your people, for Durance saying.
It just seems odd that so few of us remember him beyond the things he did for the village. Most of his family members, the ones who knew him, are in their twilight years now. And Persak was too busy to spend much time with his younger relatives.
Well, he did change the village. It's certainly worth remembering.
Perhaps you're right. Anyway, what about this Theos character you're searching for? Seems like he was someone important to you. What do you remember about him?
Well, we don't know a great deal, actually. Someone we trusted? Don't know how we would know that. It doesn't seem to be that way. Definitely an authority figure. Yeah, some kind of an authority figure.
Not a lot to go on, huh? Hopefully you can pick up a few more clues about him while we're running around.
Okay, enough chatter. Indeed. Let's keep moving. So we need to find an Adra Arch. Apparently it's near Twin Elms, so the hunt will continue. But for the time being, we shall explore the rest of this map, and then we shall perhaps try and pop down to the cliff below here. Alright, so Fraps had a bit of a crashing problem. But fear not.
Of course.
We continue from where we left off.
Hey.
You can hear some shambling here, and here we see a dead body.
Hey.
Potion and some coin and a helmet.
Of course. Hey.
Oh, a drake. Should credit that. And a Mempigua. Oh, them. They were nasty creatures. Them other things, setting insect plagues on you.
All right then.
Or maggot plague, or whatever the hell it was. Right. Take care of the forest lurker first.
You should have run!
Dead on! I'm ready.
Hey. Hey.
Kinda don't want to go face them things, if I'm quite honest with you. Oh god. That looks like it would be a very tough fight. Very tough fight. I mean, we will actually go and fight that. We're not going to leave them be. They could be guarding something really lucrative. For God's sakes. So it's certainly going to have to save it before we dive in, that's for sure. This is going to be a tough one. So
Ready, Watcher.
first of all, we will use Sagani to scout the situation. See if there's any chance of us separating the party. See if we can get a couple of them on their own, which would be certainly easier. So we've got a Pigra, some other higher being type of Pigua. A young drake times 2. There it is. Yeah, men Pigua. Probably the next level up from this thing. So that's... And another... So you got 2 Piguas, 2 young drakes, and that. And they don't appear to be guarding anything. Which is the crux of the matter. If they were guarding something useful, we'd probably take them down. But do you know what? They're not guarding anything, as far as we can see, and therefore there's no reason for us to involve ourselves with yet more drakes. Nasty things that cast all kinds of maggots to course through your body. Yeah, I don't think Fedoran's quite happy with that. Come on, party. Hey. No need to worry. No.
Slowly now.
No need to go causing fights where no fights are required. Anyway, we have a cave to attend to. So we're going to try and grapple down to this cave. Oh dear! Kana! Oh, Fedoran's grabbed him! Holy cow! I thought we were going to suffer a random death. Fedoran reaches out and grabs Kana, wrenching his shoulder. But the hapless hero has managed to actually save one of his party members from death. The gale subsides, and we make our way to the mouth of the cave. Holy cow! Phew! Breathe a sigh of relief. Now, whatever's in this cave better be worth it.
Hey.
Sagani?
Watcher.
Care to
Slow and silent.
take a little peek up ahead? It's a cave, so do we expect traps?
I'm ready.
Perhaps we better not risk
I
it.
understand.
We've had one close shave already.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
What's this? Dargles. Okay, we can cope with Dargles, not a problem. Ooh, wait, she needs to come back. She needs to come back. She is not as stealthy. Okay. We'll kind of fight him here if we can.
Nothing will slip past me.
Kind of block the way. Let him come, let him come. And attack. One at a time. One at a time. In fact, his Holy Radiance actually harms these, so we'll use that in a moment. These, of course, being vessels. There we go. I think we'll use it now. There we go. Keep burning them. Keep killing them. There we go. Line up, line up. Come and meet your maker.
You're not getting through me.
There we go. Slow and steady wins the race.
Hey.
Right, what do we have here?
Hey.
Ooh, Ring of the Selenan. Ooh, something for Fedoran. I read wizardry in the description.
Hey.
And Cave Coral. Is that it? Right, so I had to pause it there whilst I had a spot of lunch, rather tasty, fish fingers, beans, toast, and some really nice little pots of macaroni cheese with pieces of lobster in. Very delightful. Bit of a strange mismatch, but very tasty indeed. Anyway, now that I've give you some insight into my lunch, we picked up a ring, didn't we? Ring of the Selenan. And I did spot the word wizardry when I saw it, and therefore straight away give it to Fedoran for inspection. And we bought this from the marketplace in Defiance Bay, Telda's Ring, giving us extra 2nd level spell uses and an extra 4th level spell use. We look at this ring, Ring of the Selenan, and it makes reference to Telda's Ring. 2 centuries after Telda forged a ring extending her spellcasting powers, a wizard of the Valian Republics sought to improve upon her design. Almert of Salona was never known for particularly original scholarship or spellcraft, and many of his peers accused him of outright plagiarism. It is widely held that this is the reason he never received much credit for this ring, the one truly remarkable achievement of his career. The boy who cried wolf, I suppose. But anyway, this gives us extra 1st level spell uses and 3rd. So we've got extra 1st level and 3rd level from this ring, and 2nd level and 4th level from that ring. So combining the 2 rings together, and good old Fedoran has got a fair few spells at his disposal in terms of number of use. So very handy indeed for our resident wizard. Our resident.
Just say the word.
Jonathan Ross. Right, let's move on. So that was
Alright, then.
the only thing in this cave. I had a very quick mooch around in the scouting mode, and there's been no hidden goodies. So we're going to go back out, and hopefully we'll avoid any incident. Kana, just take it steady. Okay, so we make it back without any further issue.
Hey.
Good to know. So the next port of call for us is Defiance Bay, where we intend to help out a priestess of Magran, much probably to the disgust of Durance, whom we may speak to at some point on the road, because we do want to find out a little bit more about him. And his quest actually does say, continue to get to know him. So I think we're probably going to have to speak to him to advance this. Do you reckon we should speak to him now? Before we give the... Yeah, do you know what? Why not? How do we do this?
What?
Speak to him.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
Okay, so we've got some questions we can ask here. Now, he did seem to suggest that our meeting was not by chance, and it was almost certain destined to happen. So exploring that by asking why we were supposed to meet. The why of it is you're a watcher, he snorts. A watcher runs 2 roads of why. For me, it's more a matter of what. There was a time when I wouldn't have spared a thought for your words, or even bothered with you. But now, seeking out watchers is what I do, to put the truth to them, see which of the 2 ways they bend. He smiles a taunting smile. What truth? Fedoran asking. Either you're a dry field in need of a harvest burning, he frowns for a moment, his eyes flat, or you're lost in the darkness. Either way, you can see differently from others. He gives a half smile and his tone becomes accusing. I can tell by the way you noticed the staff first off. Not many can see it at first, nor the etchings or the flames, but your eyes. He stares at you, almost eagerly nodding. Your eyes trace the path that I could see. Fedoran switching the question round and asking Durance, are you a dry field or lost in the darkness? Durance's face tenses. The day we don't trade that question back and forth is the day our paths no longer need to be joined, and the trial. Durance's hand clenches his staff. The trial is done. Trial? Putting me on trial? Fedor asking. You know this nation is diseased. Don't need to be a watcher to see it in the children, the politics, the men that stalk the roads with knives in hands and murder in their eyes. This land needs life again, new seeds planted in the burned soil. His voice drops, mocking, his eyes narrow. And something tells me you can see the path to making that future happen, Watcher. Your kind always does. So then, we need to make sure you see truly now. This nation, its people, don't need any more lies blinding them, nor do I. You test a truth. You don't blindly accept it. Okay, and how do you plan to test me? Fedor asking. Sharing the road, of course. One truth to match another, matching each other's pace, keeping rhythm. Other priests can keep their teachings and rantings, for my faith, my teaching. Sharing the road is a simple, hard truth. His smile widens and his hands tap against his waist. Once, then twice. And when you knock one truth against the leg of another, why, both legs stand firm. But now, if you strike a lie at the knee with the same force, his smile dies and his eyes narrow. Why, you make a cripple with but one leg to stand on. We could taunt him here. Yeah, well, simply Fedor standing up straight and with confidence in his voice, stating, "You won't find my truth lacking." The road is young, so are your words. The truth will win out. Keep pace, and we'll see. Alright, so there's a little bit of conflab there. So he's travelling with us to test us a little bit. Interesting.
Hey.
Okay. To first fires. Hiling payday. Isn't that something? Right, what do we have here? 1 day and 22... Excuse me. Skeletal... Yeah, 1 day and 22 hours until the corpses attack, which is not very much time, so we're going to have to go here pretty much straight after we've finished up here in Defiance Bay, I think. Okay. Do we have 1 day and 11 hours for the South Curtain Wall to be constructed? We do have some extra slots still left over. We're just keeping those close to our chest for now. Right.
Hey.
So popping into the Ducal Temple here. In the dead of night. Alright, let's see what happens then. So, Fedora stepping forward with the goodies.
Hail, traveler.
May you be guided and tempered by the flame. Okay, so here we are. Fedora presenting the stone. Stating with a sense of pride that we journeyed to Searing Falls and we found this. I assume this is what you were seeing in your visions? She takes the stone in her hand and gasps. By the flame! Do you know what this is? Of course I do, Fedora's saying, sort of giving a half glance to Durance. It's a fragment of the Godhammer bomb. Yes! She turns it in her hands. The very weapon that Magron herself helped us build to defeat Waidwen in the Saints' War. She turns the stone in her hands, gazing into its bright glow. It's weird seeing it right in front of you like that. Before it was just stories. Never seemed real. Her mouth twists into a frown, and the orange light carves deep shadows across her face. So why don't I feel any differently? What good does this do? Her knuckles whiten as she tightens her fingers around the stone. Okay. Some wise words required here. We could condemn her, but no. Yes. Stating here that you hold a part of a weapon designed by a god. The very existence of such a thing should fill you with awe. Her face relaxes and her eyes drink in the glowing thing in her hands. So it does. It's not an answer, but it has meaning. She closes her hands around the stone and tucks it away. I've forgotten how important that is. Meaning? She has no idea what it means, what it represents, what went into it. As she looks at the statue, a flame springs from its raised hand. One of the things I have always loved about Magran is her affinity for fire, how it grows and spreads. You feel the warmth from the fire rippling across the room. You've given me what I need. I'll make sure to give the people of Defiance Bay the support they need. Now, let me give you something you might need. She disappears, returning quickly with something in her hands. A weapon worthy of the goddess herself. Please, accept it as thanks for your service to Magran and to me. Thanking her for her reward. Cinders of Faith. Complete. Unforgiven, a one-handed flail. Yeah, we'd have guessed it had done some kind of burn damage. We're not going to use it, but we'll take a very quick look at it. The origin of this item is a point of contention among the followers of Eothas and Wodica. The Athasians claim that their priests had it commissioned in the early aftermath of the Saints' War in hopes that it would coax their god back into the world to finish what he started. Wodicans, on the other hand, claim that the item is older than that, an instrument of retribution against oath-breakers originally employed by the Steel Garrote, an order of Wodica paladins devoted to the enforcement of oaths and contracts, often in mirthless fashion. The flail itself is unique in that the spiked ball at its end was fashioned out of an incense burner, and when it sees vigorous use, the smell of incense blankets the area. Its reputation has led to a handful of notable deceptions whereby people who defied their agreements were frightened into honouring them when the smell of incense was introduced into their negotiation room or bedchamber. Alright, we'll store it away for now, safekeeping and all that. Okay, so we can't dither-dather here. We must press very quickly on back to our keep. An incoming horde of skeletons is soon to be upon us.
Hey,